Hello everyone and welcome back to the 2020.1 South African Sim GD series. I'm Jason Holden-Jones and I'm in the commentary booth with Daniel Haynes. Welcome Daniel.
Yeah, good welcome everyone. We're at Laguna Seca. We're in the desert, but it might rain. You never know. I've got my rain hat on.
Yeah, Daniel, you're waiting for the rain, are you?
It's raining in real life, so I think realistically we need some rain, but let's see how it goes. The good thing is we don't know, just like you lot don't know, so it'll be a surprise for all of us. But qualifying is well underway. Zahir Esser is our pole position sitter currently with quite a substantial lead, 0.6 of a second over Christopher Langeveld, with a 1:21.4. It's a really superb time.
Yeah, then in third position is our race winner from Suzuka, Leslie Oliphant. He's second off the pace at the moment. You won't be liking that. And
I think this is a track for the Porsches, though, isn't it? The Porsche has the world record time in GT3 in real life on this track, so we've had the Porsches struggling at a few of our previous circuits. Specifically Bathurst, it didn't go down very well with the Porsche drivers, but this is a chance for the Porsche drivers to make amends on the track selections previously. So expecting a very strong running from the Porsches.
Yeah, and a big welcome to all our viewers on YouTube. Welcome in the chat, and please don't be shy in expressing your opinions. And it'll be great to have you all commenting and chatting away while the race is underway, or even during qualifying, of course.
I'm happy to chat up this time as well.
Oh, so, fantastic! Yeah.
Any question, put it up.
Yeah. So Jonathan Benz will be having a go at us in the chat for not listening to the chat this time because he's actually driving. And Jonathan Benz currently in 18th position for Ghostworks, doing a good job there so far. 18 out of 40 cars. Big grid this evening on quite a tight track. To see how everybody gets on, especially when the front runners approach the back markers during the 90-minute race.
Yeah, 40 cars on 3.6 kilometers. I should imagine there'll be quite a lot of people upset with not getting a quick lap in their qualifying, but they've had 45 minutes of qualifying, so there's no excuses really. You've got plenty of opportunities to get one flyer in, but no doubt a few aborted laps have already taken place. And we're probably going to struggle to see someone being Esser and pole. I mean, that 1:21.4. Now, I looked it up as the Porsche's real life record is a 1:23.2. So, yeah, something's wrong there. Or Esser should get into a real car and give the real guys a run for their money.
Yeah, you should definitely get back into a real car. Of course, a former Formula 4 driver. But yeah, it would be great to see Esser back in a racing car one day. I wonder what he thinks about that.
Yeah, maybe when we're out of this lockdown thing. At the moment, I'm sure he's enjoying the sim racing because he gets to race with some real race drivers. I was doing a race with Kelvin van der Linde and Sheldon on a couple of days ago. Seems like you can't avoid these real life races. They're on every server around the world, with nothing else to do the same as the rest of us. So it's a good opportunity to see how you compare. I was not very good. I have to say, I got beaten quite handily. I was 0.8 off of Sheldon in qualifying. I was pretty chuffed with that, but didn't stand a chance in the race.
Yeah, our race winner from Bathurst, Bashir Jadwat, driving of course for ATK, currently in 5th position. He's a bit off the pace. Bashir won't be enjoying that too much. But
I'll be struggling with that boat of an AMG on this tight, twisty track. Yeah. But then Christopher Langeveld's up there, isn't he?
Yeah. But expect Bashir to come good in the race, no doubt, as we enjoyed a fantastic race at Suzuka, with Bashir almost catching, or did catch Leslie towards the end, and with Leslie Oliphant just pipping him to the line to take victory. And what an interesting race that was.
Yeah, brilliant.
It was a special race.
Yeah, very, very good. We had a bit of rain mid-session and then it sort of dried out. We had a few people that stayed out on softs and made us look all a bit silly. Marcus Stain, I think, was the one that showed me up quite handily for strategy calls, but the rain definitely mixed it up. So here it's obviously less likely to have rain, but we'll never know. We've got time of day sped up again. You just maybe let us know what the time start and finish is, Jason, so the guys know.
Yes, so we've got qualifying started at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll have the race start at 9 in the morning. And then we'll finish off at, I think it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, so yeah, full day race. And the corners we're looking at, Laguna Seca, obviously turn 2, the double apex turn 2, very tricky braking zone as you come down the front straight, and the mighty corkscrew, turn 8, which is an 18-meter drop. That's, yeah, it takes a long time to get that right. It's a complete blind crest. It's what this track's completely famous for. I can only imagine how scary that would be in real life. Even in the sim world, it's pretty scary. You've got no idea what line to take through there when you first start. But yeah, that'll be a tricky corner, and it's what this track's all about, really, the corkscrew, as we see us to take that just now. But yeah, very, very tricky corner. You have to use almost trees as your sort of reference point to hit apexes, because you can't actually see the apex. So if they ever cut those trees down, there'll be crashes everywhere.
And thanks to Kevin Lawrence for his comments. Just commenting about our volume. Jason, your volume is good. Daniel, very soft. I have changed the volume, so hopefully a bit better for Daniel. Kevin, if you just let us know if it is
mine's
better
the
or
same
not.
as it on this end. It's the same as it always is.
I've just adjusted you on Discord as well on my side. Let's see if that's better. No doubt Kevin will get back to us. But yeah, just over 6 minutes remaining in this race now. Bashir Jadwat's still in 5th position. He's shaved off 1/10 of a second to be just 1.3 seconds off Zahir Essa at the moment. And Jadwat's teammate there, Quay Claessen's currently in 6th position, so he's moved up nicely. Let's see what Quay can do. And then we've got Dewald now, very experienced sim racer in his own right, many years in Formula Sim Racing, FSR. And in 7th position. And then we've got Mark Castain, who in fact has left Ghostworks, the team, and is racing as an independent this evening. So it's be interesting to see how he gets on.
Different colour scheme.
Yeah, looking good there in the black with what is it, maroon accents. And
he had a great race at Suzuka, obviously, but still comfortably in the top 10.
Yeah. Daniel is still chewing away on your hat, or he didn't win in fact, but your hat was right there to be eaten.
Yeah, he made me look a bit stupid, really. So yeah, I've got a bit of a bone to pick with Marcus Stone, but he had a superb drive, and he managed to drive a car on slick tyres in the wet. So obviously I can't do that. That's why I sort of come up with the scheme that he was obviously on the wrong strategy. But yeah, he's got a skill that maybe I don't have. So yeah, very good to Marcus.
Yeah. And
he's followed by Charles Wilkins, our other real-life racing driver come sim driver, in 10th position.
And a big welcome to the FIA stewards in the YouTube live chat. Well, if it is the FIA, big welcome to you guys. And
yeah, maybe they can help on some dodgy calls FIA.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome to ask us to do some streaming if you like. Yeah. Back to the action now, staying in 9th position. Then we've got Charles Wilkin there in 10th position. He's
Kieran Patterson just jumped into 8th place as well.
Kieran Patterson, well, yeah.
That's a great drive or a great qualifying time from him.
Yeah, rookies found some pace as Kieran in the Ferrari.
Well, in the last Assetto Corsa stream we had at Sebring, didn't he? So see how he copes with an ACC Div 1 race with a few tougher competitors.
So look at Kieran. Kieran in the nicely turned out Ferrari, the number 1, 2, 3. Fastest Ferrari this evening so far by quite a margin. Next one up is Neil Berger, then 16th position, the 246 entry. And then we have Nick Hodgson there in 11th position. Nick Hodgson's in fact leading the overall South African Sim GT standings with the AC part of the championship and the ACC part together, leading it by 1 point. I think it is Bashir Jadwat, if I'm not mistaken. So Nick Hodgson will be looking for a good finish this evening, and he's popped up into 6th now, so finding some good pace in the Aston Martin in the number 101.
Yeah, it's a great lap by Nick, isn't it? Obviously confident from his Division 1 race in Assetto Corsa last time out.
Yep.
Christopher Langevelt's closed up to Essa, but there's still quite a substantial gap at 4/10 at the top. So that 1:21.4 does look pretty nailed down for pole position now with 3 minutes remaining after a 45-minute session. So Zaire Essa will be very, very pleased because it's the first we've seen some immense speed from him this season, but I don't think the tracks have fully suited that Porsche. He definitely struggled with the rain though, didn't he, when the rain came down in Suzuka and went backwards. So he'll be one of the drivers hoping that it stays dry throughout this race.
And Langeveld there just abandoning that lap for whatever reason.
So obviously we've all had quite a lot of time on our hands the last 10 days, so I'm expecting this to be incredibly competitive throughout the field. A lot of guys put a lot of practice in for this round. We've had 2 weeks of practice since the last race. So pretty competitive, I'm sure. The gaps are certainly not substantial. But traffic's going to be an issue with a 3.6 kilometre circuit and 40 drivers. So as the race progresses and the front marker, the leaders come up behind back markers, that certainly will be how they cope with traffic. Could play a part in who wins this race.
There's also not a lot of runoff area for the drivers to get out the way if they need to.
And we're not talking very long straights to let people pass easily, are we? So it's going to have to be a bit of sort of cooperation from the back markers to hopefully not hold up the front runners too much. But it all sort of bodes part of it in GT3 racing. Obviously, you have to get used to dealing with different speeds and traffic, especially if you go into multi-category races. So I think it's part and parcel of it, to be honest.
So we have just just over 40 seconds remaining. Essa seems to have this in the bag. There's here in the 171 Porsche. And a good half a second over Christopher Langeveld, I beg your pardon. And then the Mercedes-Benz, the number 46, Devon Nisha, holding strongly in 3rd position. Just 7/10 of the pace now. Essa goes a bit quicker. And
not many people still on a flying lap. We've got Jadwat still out of the pits. He's obviously improved up to 4th place. Leslie Oliphant's dropped way down into 6th, so there have been some faster times at the end of this qualifying session. Oliphant still on a flyer.
Yeah, obviously the track is nicely rubbered up now. I can see the marbles on the side of the track. And
times have come down, certainly.
Will this give a chance to Langeveld to do something about Essa? No, he's in the pits as well. Where's Lisha? Lisha's also in the pits.
We got Leslie Oliphant coming up to the last corner.
Jadwat's in the pits as well. Yeah, I think just about everybody. What's Oliphant doing?
He's just coming across the line now.
Boards.
But doesn't improve now, so he's finished in 6th position.
Let's just see who else is on track. Claessens is coming in. Wilkins also aborted.
Wilkins is aborted. I think that's everyone done, isn't it?
Comes Leach. Let's see if he can improve. I'm not sure what his delta is, unfortunately. He's currently in 21st in the 333 Aston Martin, where he does a bit of farming and some. And I think that's.
You struggle to do farming in the desert, don't you? Bit of ploughing.
Yeah. So that is qualifying done and dusted, I think, in a minute and a half now until the grid forms up for the formation lap.
Guys will frantically be changing their setups into their race setup, and we had a few mistakes last time. I think that you made the time a little bit longer this time, give them a bit more of an opportunity to do that, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done that. So if the weather does change quite a bit, the drivers can react with their setups and put wet tires on or whatever they need to do.
I think the 60-second caught a few people out last time in Suzuka, so they'll be frantically working their setups away.
Yeah. So while the drivers get ready, we'll look at that wonderful grid, 40 plus entries this evening, and I think we can look forward to an exciting race. But until the formation app gets underway, we're going to have a short break. Don't go away. Welcome back to Laguna Seca for round 3 of the 2020.1 South African Sim GT series. This round 3 of the RGTC AC leg of the championship. And CS are doing some last minute setup changes. There's the front of the Porsche lifts up. And we're 10 seconds away now.
You don't want to be changing it that that close.
Perhaps something's happened with the track temperature, and S is just making sure about that. We've got a car in the pit lane as well. I'm not sure who that is. It might be Rudy Marais looking at that Aston Martin. Let's see if he joins the back of the grid, hopefully. And it is 9 o'clock in the morning here at Laguna Seca, and we have 90 minutes of racing with the time progression at about 6, I think it is. We should have the race finished, I think, somewhere around about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
So they got 90 kilometers an hour speed limit on this track, but they shouldn't lose too much tyre temperature because it's such a short lap compared to what we're used to. But they're weaving around to try and keep temperature up into that difficult braking zone into turn 2. That double apex corner is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, going through that cleanly will be quite a feat with 40 cars. So we'll see how we go there. Can take a couple of lines through that corner, can't you? But I'm thinking you want to try and hug it as tight as you possibly can when you've got cars behind you, for sure. When you're on a hot lap on your own, then you can hit the first apex, go a little bit wide, and then clip the second apex. But you don't want to be leaving the door open in traffic, that's for sure. So maybe we'll see Esther hug that inside line into turn 2. Difficult to obviously make a pass through there. If you keep the inside line, you should be safe. But important to get a good exit.
Yeah, thank you, Valdi, for the comment. I know, I think my microphone actually might be on its way out, unfortunately. It's got a slight buzz.
You're cutting out a couple of times as well, possibly.
Am I?
On well, you are to me, but I'm not sure on stream. Maybe one of the guys can let us know.
Okay. Hopefully that comes right.
Yeah, you sound good. You sound good now.
Okay, good. Fantastic.
Bit of a mic check, guys.
Yeah.
Let us know how we're doing.
But we're about to get things underway here now as Essa approaches. It's the second last corner before we get the race underway. And this is a tricky corner to get right, especially run wide on exit. You can turn the car into a spin pretty easily.
Yeah, very tricky on cold tyres. It can make you look silly quite easily.
But yes, and now approaching the start-finish line to get this race underway.
So S is definitely going to be wanting to cover the inside line for sure.
And off we go. So here's the
we
start
see
of the
him going
race.
left.
40 plus cars, speed up to race pace, and immediately Devon Lesher is challenging Langeveld for second position.
Esser's through. Oh no, Langeveld's up the inside of Esser on the second apex, and that gives Lisher. Lisher's had a fantastic start. He's up into second, is he?
Yes, he is.
He is
nice
indeed.
move.
What a start by Devon Lisher up into second place behind Zahir. The Porsches rule this place.
Yep. So Lisher runs slightly wide, but that doesn't do anything to his momentum. He's sticking with Zahir. So now Langeveld under pressure from Bashir Jadwat. Jadwat around the outside. Langeveld under pressure and struggling. Now he has
Langeveld
Marcus
covered
Steyn
inside.
all over him.
Coming
Nose
up
to
the
tail now.
corkscrew.
So through the corkscrew go for the first time, turn 8. Challenging corner, amazingly steep that corner is in the real world.
Yeah, 18 metres the drop there from top to bottom. Ridiculous, 18-metre drop. It literally is like driving off a cliff. Everyone through cleanly, I can see, so that's encouraging. It's been a clean first lap.
The Cochin there in 8th position. Under pressure now from Quay Claessens. So Point Blank Racing defending from Ghostworks or ATK.
Devon Lisher, what a start to get up to second place. That is superb.
S's teammate now Wesley Ferrand there in 10th position challenging Quay Claessens. Charles Wilkin in
Claessens made a
11th
mistake.
position.
Ferrand's gone. It's 3 abreast going into turn 6. Oh, Ferrand, what a move.
Yeah.
Marcus Steyn in the background I saw was off. No, is there a Lawrence Stern? I can't remember.
That's Marcus Steyn is off. He's down to 16th in the number 55. And a
Grab
great
him
stop
on
for
replay
him.
maybe, see what happened. He seemed went off on his own. One of our
Quick
top
replay.
10 drivers has dropped right back to 16th, 17th place now.
So we got Marcus Steyn in the 55. Oh, he just runs wide on the curb and spins the car around. No contact. And he didn't hit the
Yeah,
wall
that's a
either.
mistake
It's
on
not
his
too
own, I
bad. And he gets going safely.
Quite a big train in Ferrand, Claessens and Hodgson. Very, very tight in that midfield pack. And the back end of the top 10.
Unfortunately, Steyn's come to a stop as well. I think it might be his race done and dusted. Let's
Oh,
see
that's a
if we
shame.
get going again. Lisher now under pressure from Jadwat.
Well, Jadwat just went wide. He was completely off the circuit there. We've got Langeveld now right up back of him as a result of that.
Okay.
And Lisher's got a bit of a breathing space.
So Jadwat now has Christopher Langeveld for company. This is over 3rd position. All Mercedes-Benz battle. And don't discount this man, Leslie Oliphant, winner of our Suzuka race.
Yeah, he had a superb Suzuka race, and in all conditions, he was quick in that Lexus.
And, yeah, currently in 5th position in the Lexus. It's going to go further down the field now to Neil Berger in the Ferrari, the number 246, under pressure from Krayling, Jonas Krayling. It's a Ferrari versus Aston Martin.
I think this track, as opposed to, say, for example, Suzuka, that it's very difficult to make a pass, but sometimes you don't need to, because you put a bit of pressure on the drivers ahead, and if they just mess up their lines through a couple of these very, very tricky corners, then the pass is made for you. So it's a different type of driving this evening to what we've had in previous rounds. Certainly Suzuka and Bathurst have not been similar in that respect, but no time to rest here, is there? It's just bang, 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 straight through. Yeah, so quite easy to suddenly go wide on one corner, and it just takes the rhythm out for the rest of the lap, and that's it. You've lost quite a few places, especially with such a packed track as we've got this evening.
I think the consequence of a mistake is has much bigger consequences than what you would normally find at a circuit. I think.
Yes.
Run wide, it slows the car right down, and you lose
100%.
position. Yeah.
So only 3 laps into this race, and S has got himself a 1.7 second lead, but I think Lish is going to be superbly pleased with his first lap going up into second. Staying still on circuit, I see, because Lish is just putting a lap on him now, staying back in 18th position. He's lost heavily from his mistake going off on his own. It's a bit unfortunate.
Stan is down to 38th position. But he's back up to speed. I'm not sure if he did a pit stop. That might be.
Yeah, obviously my screen hasn't updated. Yeah, 38th he is now. It's on the ACT director. Yeah, so he's dropped right to the back.
He has not done a pit stop because we still have a number 1 next to his number 55 there. So that means he still needs to do a pit stop. Gerard Okamp has done his pit stop. You can see the green accent there next to number 78.
Yeah, so Marcus, he came to a complete standstill, didn't he, you said, after his spin. So I'm not 100% sure what that would be if he didn't go in for pit. So he said a sublime race at Suzuka, but it's not quite going right for him this evening. He's finding himself right at the back. He's got a bit of a recovery drive ahead.
Charles Wilkins got Devalt now for company, and a whole host of other drivers as well. So very much turning into the Charles Wilkins train. This is over 8th position.
This is what I mean by a bit of pressure on Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
Look in your rearview mirrors and all you can see is cars weaving around everywhere. You haven't got much time to think.
And Devalt now really pressing the issue there with Charles Wilkins almost running to the back of the Lexus. But avoiding contact, and in fact Nels now under pressure from Quake Claessens. So ATK coming through here as now in fact runs wide. Wow, we don't often see Devalt now make a mistake like that, but he has done so. And Claesen says thank you very much. I'm through to 10th position.
That's it. You wait for the mistake and you take your opportunities. You don't have to force a pass here, not very often.
It's time to line up here. Here comes Jonathan Bentz in 11th position for Ghostworks in the 310th entry. But
he's got Lawrence Sterner for company in the Aston. Very nice livery on the Aston.
And Nell straight back with Claessens. He wants a position back.
Where's our V12 Aston Martin? Who had that? I'm trying to remember now.
That would be Brent Lindsay-Ray, but he's not racing this evening for whatever reason.
Oh, what a shame. I
haven't heard from Brent.
That's the biggest disappointing. That's the biggest disappointment I've had. I love that V12.
Yeah.
Lish is having a superb race. He's pulling a gap now on Jadwat.
Yeah, let's have a look at that gap, that 1.7 seconds as Esser's in traffic. He's got one of the Honda NSXs.
And Jadwat and Langeveld have just had to go through traffic as well. So this is already only 6 laps in. We've got the front leaders having to deal with traffic. So it's going to be part of this race for sure.
There's we have a purple Aston Martin also off, but Esser does well to avoid that car. And Lish is really getting after Esser, isn't he?
He's on him, isn't he? He's closed the gap. It's within a second now.
There's just cars all over the place at turn 7. Oh, and Aston Martin's hit the wall. Oh, big accident, I think. Who's caught up in that? Who is in the purple Aston Martin?
I don't know. Or I just...
Bit of chaos there. Just needs a bit more, more careful, that driver.
Oh, we've got a bit of a blockade going on the corkscrew as well.
Blue flags at the corkscrew as Neil Berger makes his way through, followed by Johannes Kraling. get back to our...
There's a massive train by Charles Wilkin, isn't there? Carl Wilkin's got like 7 or 8 cars behind him, and they're all fighting. We've got Hodgson 3 wide with Claessens and Stroud as well. This is into Andretti corner, hairpin. Nell goes wide. This is a right battle. Sterner, Nell, Bentz.
Great racing this is. This is what we want to see.
Yeah, there's too many fights to keep on track of it already. But this little mid-pack field is changing positions regularly. We're missing a few of them, but they're swapping here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, we're now watching Nick Hodgson there, trying to chase down Quake Claessens. And all the cars behind Hodgson as well. Great racing this is. Oh, it's Hodgson runs slightly wide. Keeps it on the dirt, however. And he'll be sizing up Claessens. Working out where his strengths and weaknesses are. But as I said, he's falling back now towards Devolt now.
Yeah, and Hodgson's dropped back, hasn't he? Because I think he was in 7th at one point and finds himself in 9th now, I'm showing on my screen, yeah. So this little group is switching places quite regularly. Nell's right at the back of him now. Not many places on this track you can actually get into a draft. I suppose technically on this straight going, but then it doesn't really assist much into a very tight turn 2.
Just noticing Hodgson sort of drive away from Nell down the main straight. Perhaps Nell's running quite a bit more downforce than what Hodgson is. It's quite noticeable that.
I think there's definitely a lot more strategy at playing ACC is what we've come accustomed to in Assetto Corsa as well. People second guessing whether, especially after the last race at Suzuka, which we had a mixed strategy. Nell's up the outside of Hodgson here.
Yes, come for me. Oh, contact.
Contact.
Oh, contact again.
Contact again, and Nell's into the wall.
I think Nell had a bit of oversteer then, sort of collected.
Yeah, I don't think Hodgson did anything wrong there. He didn't move at all, did he, Nick?
A quick replay again. Let's have a look. Oh, it's
well, now was he was trying to turn in, and the car was there. It wasn't going out the way, and he just kept bashing into the side of it. I'm not sure Nick could do much about that one, I'm afraid.
So Nell's down to 13th position now.
That's it. Warning for any mistakes you make on this circuit can cost you 5 or 6 places very, very easily, and that's exactly what's happened to DeWald now.
Yeah,
We've got Stewart facing the wrong way up the start-finish straight. Hopefully he rejoins safely.
Oh, look. Oh,
Warwick
yes,
Stewart is parked against the pit wall. Maybe he's asking his mechanics to throw something over the wall to him.
Yeah, he's probably waiting for the field to pass so he can turn around safely.
He might be waiting for about 30 laps. I guess there's never going to be a gap. But yeah, that's a very difficult one. He's doing the right thing and trying to wait for a spot, but he might be parked there for a bit.
Yeah, here he goes.
Shut your eyes and spin it, Stuart. Oh,
he's done a great job.
In how to, I don't think he could have done any better than that.
Yeah, a lot of respect being shown there by Warwick Stewart. That's what we want to see. Good stuff, Warwick. A good example to everybody else in sim racing.
I mean, that's a difficult position to find yourself in, but he did exactly the right thing. Lisha is right up the back of Zahir Essa now. 0.3 tenths. This is getting very interesting. So we had Essa get pole in Suzuka as well, didn't he? And then fell back in the race.
Yes.
And our pole sitter quite comfortably this evening is also struggling in race pace. Devon Lisha is a man possessed. The difference is I'm not sure you're going to force a mistake out of Zahir Essa. That's the difference. And so he'll probably be comfortable with him sat behind him.
There's this now approaches traffic.
Could be the thing, yeah. Back markers could be the problem here.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I think Lisha gets a better run around the back marker.
Yeah. Through the kink.
Oh,
Lisha went wide.
Oh, he's going to lose it. Oh, nicely done. Lisha hangs on to it, but he's lost time to Essa.
I think he's took a line he wasn't used to there. That's the problem with back markers, isn't it? You get into a groove with a certain entry, and that kink's difficult because you're going through there so flat. It looks quite slow when you're looking on stream, but when you're in the car, that is one of the fastest corners on the circuit, and it's just a very slight lift and then flick it in left.
Now watching Bashir Jadwat in third position. He is 2.7 seconds behind Lisha.
Yeah, we've got a lot of back markers getting in the mix now. So far, everyone I've seen has done admirably in how they've applied themselves to racing and letting the front drivers pass them. But it's certainly going to be a bit of stress on our lead drivers trying to clear these back markers. There's a bit of stress on the back marker as well. You spend a lot of your time you're looking in your rear view mirror, and it's not a pleasant experience their side either. Turkey Swanepoel now in front of Langeveld, who's getting out of the way of everybody.
Shaw Wilkin not pressurizing. And as I say that, Wilkin in the wall. So Wilkin is right with Langeveld, looking to put pressure on him, but fortunately,
He just got into a tank slapper, didn't he? And just lost it on his own. Yeah. Quick shout out to my ex-teammate Rudy Murray. He qualified down in 20th, and he's managed to keep himself clean. He's already climbed up into 11th position. So qualifying's not everything. Be consistent and clean. He's been doing a lot of endurance racing. I think that definitely shows. You get much better in race pace than quali pace, and he's up into 10th now with Charles Wilkins' mistake.
Good stuff there from Rudy. Charles Wilkin now down to 16th, and quite a bit of damage to the front end of that Lexus with the bonnet flapping away at the front.
I haven't done enough driving in ACC to know how substantially damage affects it. Is the damage on 100% here, or are we slightly reduced?
I think it's on 100%.
It's on 100%, so yeah, it should be. Well, you can see that car's a handful, so it's definitely tank slapper into the wall is not advised.
And I think we just might see that Lexus coming in early, repairing the damage and possibly fueling to the end. Back with our race leader now, Zahir Essa, leading by 4.5 seconds after Lisha's mistake.
Yeah, we had a real tasty little treat there with Lisha and Essa, and unfortunately with back marker mixing it up, Lisha just pushed wide and made a mistake, and it's just let Essa relax. I'm sure he would have seen that and been quite relieved.
In the background,
he can just concentrate now on his own driving.
We have Jadwat in third. He's losing ground to Lisha, unfortunately for us, but behind Jadwat is where the action's kicking off now. Oliphant under pressure from Wesley Ferrant.
Yeah, Ferrant's also gained quite heavily, hasn't he? I don't think he qualified this higher.
No,
he's having a great race up in 5th position and battling with Leslie Oliphant.
He's really taking to Oliphant now. Yeah, it's clearly something about this track that suits the Porsche, probably the rear end grip that the Porsche produces.
It's about time they had a track though, because they were whinging and they were whinging. Porsche drivers the first 2 rounds, my word were they whinging, but they can be quiet now, and they've also got Kailami to look forward to as well. So yeah, it swings and roundabouts over a season, that's for sure. Got to make it pay when you get a track that suits your car though. And Essa and Lisha are definitely doing that, and also Wesley Ferrand as well in the Porsche 911. Yeah, you do get some whingy drivers, don't you? Oh, this track doesn't suit my car. Oh, woe is me.
But it's pretty realistic, you must admit. I mean, the real racing drivers just as bad.
It is. Yeah, that is exactly it. So we had the Bentleys. Oh, they're going to own Bathurst. But now, look, where are they? They're nowhere. We haven't got any. So, you need to pick a car and just take the rough with the smooth. And when you get a track that suits your car like this one, clearly for the Porsche, you've got to make the most of it.
We're now looking back from Leslie Oliphant is at Wesley Ferrant. And great fight this is. There's 0.2 of a second in it as they cross the start-finish line. And
also a very experienced driver in Oliphant. I can't imagine he's going to make too many errors on his own. So Francis is going to have to sit there for a little bit, I think.
That Lexus does sound good, doesn't it? Big V8 roaring away.
It certainly sounds better than it looks.
Not a fan, Daniel.
Of the looks of the Lexus, I'm afraid, but yeah, it does sound good.
Oh, and France run wide.
Goes wide.
Oh, that's cost him dearly. He falls right back towards Quake Claessens. Claessen's in 6th position in the Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, this might be a bit of a damage limitation round for the Mercedes-Benz because it's certainly struggling more than it has in previous rounds. Quite a cumbersome vehicle around such a tight circuit.
Johannes Kraling now under pressure from Neil Berger. Aston Martin leading Ferrari. The Ferrari doing a bit better there down the corkscrew. And again, Aston Martin extends the gap on corner exit.
Got a few new names as well, haven't we? And I'm looking through the timing screens. Going back to try and find our first McLaren 720. Crowcamp in 19th position in the 720. It's nice just to see the McLaren, that's all. I'm not sure I've seen one on track yet. It's not been picked too extensively.
And as we picked him up there, it had a bit of a moment, but
yeah, that's a bit unfortunate.
Hang on to it. So, yeah, it is a good looking vehicle, isn't it?
Is it a new driver as well? Name doesn't ring a bell.
Yep.
So yeah, nice to have him with us. He's doing well for a first race. Solid midfield, 19th position. So well done to Moritz.
Yes, and his teammates. Let's go find James. There's James Stroud. They're in 34th position. His first ever race with us at Sim Race South Africa, I think it is. Big welcome to James and Moritz in the 2 McLarens.
Oh, so they've matched the McLarens, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. It's a nice looking car.
Yeah, why not?
And I see James has taken a pit stop already. So that might be why he finds himself in 34th place. Pitted early, and he's just lost it on the corkscrew, unfortunately. Easily done. Now we've got Lisha fighting through quite a lot of back markers, but managed to get through cleanly this time.
It's quickly. Chad Watt can get past his back markers too.
Yeah, there was a good bunch there, and Lisha took the whole lot in one go. Excellent driving from the back markers I've seen so far. I haven't had any complaints whatsoever. I thought we might have quite a few issues already, but everyone I've seen have been superb.
I think that's Isherwood in the Ferrari. Jason, good job there. Next up is a Honda for Judd Watts. Can't see the car number yet. The Honda 76. That is Barry Mayer, of course, in 20th position. And
behind. Class from Jadrat uses indicators to say thank you there. Let you see that.
Yeah, fantastic.
He's left him on though, so maybe not scared. Now he looks like he's breaking down. Going into turn 6. Yeah. Oh, he's still got him on. You can't remember to turn them off all the time.
Watching Leslie Oliphant now being passing. I think that is Barry Mayer again. Oliphant using his indicators as well. Interesting touch that. And, Oliphant can now catch right up to Wesley Ferrant. As Isherwood
He's having a
moves aside.
superb race up in 4th place, isn't he? He's really doing well.
Yeah.
He's got good equipment. He's got my old wheel, you see.
Okay.
That's won a Division 1 race before, then I sold it. I should have kept it.
Yeah. And his teammate's not bad either.
No. Very true. But yeah, Porsche, it's the Porsche's night, isn't it? That's for sure.
Just reading Diablo's message in the chat. Apparently your application was not replied to. Can't see how that happened. You're very welcome to send in another application, Diablo, and I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Oh, that's a slap on the wrist, Jason, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the first time that's happened.
Dear.
But Diablo, I'm very sorry if that's the case. You're welcome to register again, and I'll get back straight to you tomorrow. And let's get you racing. And then Shiraz Dada saying keeps getting disconnected, and he says cars flying around. Shame, Shiraz, that's not great. Sounds like your line is struggling with something.
Yeah,
Peter,
checking the pings on everyone's is pretty superb, isn't it? So,
yeah. And Peter Helvenes as well. He's also not having a good time with his internet connection. So sorry to hear that, guys.
Internet connections throughout Africa have been real hit and miss the last week, unfortunately. I think it's been fixed though, but we did have a cable break to Europe. Shouldn't affect this race in any way though, really. Being hosted locally.
Oh, Donovan Detoy. Okay. I don't recall seeing an application from you, Donovan.
Now, and he's off. I just went to DeWald now, and then he was parked on the side of the road, and now he's just jumped off the server, hasn't he?
Have a look.
You might be. Well, you might find him. I don't think. I just jumped for him, thinking, oh, there's a tight gap between him and Rudy Murray, and he was on the side of the finishing straight, and then parked.
Yeah,
so unfortunately, I have lost DeWald now.
Yeah, I can't select him, so I think that might be him.
Yeah.
For this evening, unfortunately.
He's left. So I'm not sure what happened there. Rudy Murray's also been involved in something and dropped right down.
Yeah. Devon Lishner in the pits from second position. Interesting move there from Devon. So yeah, this is carried on. I wonder if
Rudy Murray, I can't select either. So has he left the server? Might have been tangled up with DeWald now there, because they were. I was jumping to them specifically to look at the gap, and then I saw an aftermath of an accident, and both of them have left. So I'm not quite sure what happened there between DeWald now and Rudy Murray.
Yeah. Devon Lishner now leaving his pit box.
So he's pitted quite early, hasn't he?
I wonder if he's on a two-stop strategy, Daniel. Yeah.
That might explain his real rapid pace right at the start and trying to make a real go for it. He was lightly fueled.
So Lishner now rejoin in 13th position.
Diablo's, he's got so much evidence against you, Jason. It's not looking good. He sent his submission early in the year and a follow-up email on the 21st of January.
Okay.
Oh, hang your head with shame.
Yeah.
Well, Diablo, I think if you do a submission now, you'll probably get a response by the end of the evening. So So looking at gaps, we've got Nick Hodgson on Clarson's is very tight.
Comes Lisha now. He's trying to make his way past. Who's that? Kieran Patterson in 14th position. So
yeah, this is where the two-stop strategy and pitting early could affect you, because now this is the position. These guys are not just going to move over like the back markers. Lisha's got to put a move on them, and he's got a lot of traffic to get through. Lisha's going to want to make this move on Patterson as quickly as possible. This could be affecting his race here. Kieran doesn't look like he's putting too much pressure and left room on the inside into Andretti corner. Yeah, nice move from Devon there, well done. Bit of compliance from Patterson, it has to be said. I don't think he wanted to lose time himself.
Donovan, I did reply to your email.
Oh,
I just checked my email now, so I think you should check your email, Donovan. Yeah. Tuesday.
They didn't pay.
Tuesday, January 21st, 2020. January 21, Donovan.
Check your spam folder.
Check your spam folder.
Jason has a tendency to go into spam, unfortunately.
Yeah. But it's all good. Just have a look there, Donovan, and then we'll get it sorted out as quickly as possible. All good. Back to the racing now as Lisha just makes his way past. Was it Henry Roux in the Aston Martin? It's Louis Serfontaine in the Honda. Moves aside nicely. Good stuff there from Serfontaine.
Do you know what this race needs? It needs some rain. Come on. I'm looking at the skies. It's not going to rain. Please. It's raining in real life. Can you believe it? Go and put WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca into your weather app. You'll see it's currently raining there. To be fair, it is quite unrealistic. It's built on a dry lake bed, so it's dry for a reason. If it was a lake bed, it would be underwater.
Yeah. They actually built, I think, 2 artificial ponds just to have some water around.
Yeah, and they're probably dry.
Probably.
Henry Roux is off circuit there, I see.
Okay.
Where is Henry? I haven't seen Henry this evening.
Yeah, no, he's been quiet.
He's right down in 29th place. He's offline again as he lets Charles Wilkin through. Sorry, Henry. He's a local boy to me, Gordons Bay.
So Henry Roux has done a pit stop. That's part of the reason why he probably finds himself down in 29th. Barry Mayer's got a stop-go penalty of 30 seconds.
I just see that as well,
smells of track limits infringement, perhaps.
I think you have to do something quite substantial to get one of those, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
So May is going to be a bit upset with that. Stop-go 30. That's a big penalty.
Let's have a look at the Neil Berger Chris Heineke battle. That's over 9th position. Nice and close together. We're now looking back from Berger at Heineke. Oh, the Ferrari much better corner exit. Leaves the Mercedes-Benz for dust. Let's see how the Mercedes-Benz gets around this corner.
Mercedes is struggling on this circuit, isn't it? It's definitely not a favourable circuit for it. I mean, Jadwat's doing superb to get in second place. He's not quite in that second because we still don't know what's happening to Devon Lisha. But still, he's doing very well in an AMG to battle it round this twisty circuit. Must feel a little bit cumbersome.
And Heineke battling with the understeer.
Yeah, they just don't look tidy, do they? Every time you go on board with an AMG, it feels like it's heavy and struggling.
Heineke catches up a little bit there in the brakes. But, yeah, closing the gap down the main straight too. Let's see how he gets into turn 1 now. Under braking we go. Yeah, the Ferrari much happier corner exit. There's Neil Berger
Marcus here.
dodges the Lexus there.
Got Isherwood in front, also back marker, haven't we? So Ferrari on Ferrari as Heineke comes up behind. Isherwood's getting clean out of the way, but might run out of space before the kink. No, he's backed off. It's very well. Good driving. Brilliant driving from the back markers, has to be said. Every time we've seen a back marker, he's done exactly the right thing. Got Wesley Ferrant, who's having a superb race, right up behind Bashir Jadwat now. 3/10 behind him. He's been catching pretty consistently. Really is doing well, Wesley Ferrant, in that Porsche 911. Another Porsche that's thriving here at Laguna Seca.
Oh, and Jadwat's made a mistake. Through goes Ferrant and Oliphant. It's cost Jadwat 2 positions. Wow.
One mistake and you drop back 2 places. Yeah, uncharacteristic mistake there from Jadwat in the kink. But Ferrant made him pay. That's all you need to do, push on the pressure. That's what I mean. You can see the guys gaining on you, but it's actually another thing. They've got to pass. And I see Jadwat's coming to the pits, isn't he? Yeah, he's coming to the pits. Maybe his tyres are finished. End of his pit window, lap 26. Again, an early pit stop though, isn't it? We become so accustomed to a one-stop strategy, middle of the race every time with AC, that I don't think we're going to see that in Assetto Corsa Competizione. We're going to get some slightly mixed strategies going at play here. We saw Devon Lisher pit very, very early, and still Bashir Jadwat's earlier than a halfway pit stop.
Yeah, just looking at the track temperature, it is 40 degrees, so perhaps the drivers are struggling with tyre wear. We got the ambient around 32. So it is a hot day.
If we can't have rain, we might as well have a sauna. Molten rubber for tyres.
Perhaps this is another reason why the Porsches are enjoying it. Perhaps they like the warmer track temperature. Get those front tyres working a bit better.
It's just the characteristics of that particular car, isn't it? It struggles in a straight line. There is no straights here. It's awesome in the corners. There's nothing but corners here. There's some very, very strong corners as well. And we've got Andretti hairpin, the corkscrew, final corner. And it just looks so planted, that Porsche. Every time we go to it, it just looks like it's coping perfectly. Very, very flat. Whereas the AMG just looks a little bit cumbersome.
So we got Echo racing now, 1-2. It's leading front. So no doubt team principal Ryan Hill will be ecstatic about that.
What we want to know is what Lish is gonna, what position he's gonna come out in when everybody else pits. He's fought his way through quite a few places. He's coming up behind Heineke now, but he's managed to get through traffic. But I can't imagine he hasn't lost time. He's putting a move on Heineke now up the inside into turn 2, Andretti hairpin.
On board now with Lisha, up the inside. Oh, and Heineke just said, there you go.
Yeah, I think Devon's, he's driving immensely well in that Porsche, but if it's sort of lightly stinted and light in fuel, that might allow him to do that. But he is driving exceptionally well this evening. Berger's not quite playing ball with the back marker at the moment. Holding Lisha up.
There comes Heineke on the outside, is he?
Hopefully this doesn't come in danger. Neil Berger probably wants to, I think he's been trying to let him by, but Lisha doesn't want to take any risks, I don't think.
In fact, this is over position. Neil Berger is in front of him.
Oh, of course, yeah. So he's actually fighting him for position, you forget, because Lisha's sort of out of place with his early pit stop.
Yeah. So Neil Berger well within his rights to defend from Lisha.
doesn't want to be losing too much time himself though in doing so, because they're not really in the same race here. Neil Berger might not know that, of course.
Neil Berger's probably enjoying having Lisha between himself and Chris Heineke.
Not sure Lish is going to be enjoying it too much. He knows this is costing him a lot of time. You're coming from a net second place, and I just think he's going to be going backwards after the pit stop window. He's got the inside. He's awesome on this turn 2, Devlin Lisher. He's just picked off 3 or 4 people exactly the same as that every time. Very, very tight line.
And Haneke's taking Berger as well.
So that turn 2 hairpin's got it's a double apex corner, but you'd naturally want to go very, very wide into it. And Lisher, every time he sees that, he just pops his car straight up the inside, and he still makes the bend. So it shows you how good that 911 is. That he can take that double apex Andretti hairpin on the inside and not go wide whatsoever. So we've got Esser's just out completely on his own because Lisher's pit stop. He won't really know where he is until he comes in, but he hasn't, providing he's managed to get through back markers already, and nicely without losing time, could come with a substantial lead after the first pit stop. Have worked their way through the field. Wesley Ferrand 18 seconds back, obviously still also hasn't pitted.
We've got a big battle over 4th position. Nick Hodgson against Claessens.
Yeah, Hodgson's worked his way up the field nicely, hasn't he? Got up into 4th place.
Yeah, he's just quietly gone about his business, keeping out of trouble.
Yeah, we haven't seen much about him. He's been very clean. He was very clean in Sebring as well in Assetto courses. He's certainly worked on his consistency, and it's paying dividends for him in race performances. Got Klengen going off on the corkscrew, unfortunately. Very easily done on that corkscrew, Xander Klengen, I'm afraid. Got to make sure all of your braking is entirely out of the way before you get remotely close to that corner.
Claessen's now really all over Hodgson. Down the main straight we go. But no, the Aston Martin seems to have the legs in the Mercedes-Benz.
See, everyone likes to throw their car out wide, which is also how I like to take turn 2. And that's where Devlin Lisher's been poaching people. He's just been throwing out the inside and making it stick.
We're fast approaching the halfway stage of this race, so we should expect a lot of the cars coming in now.
Lisher's found himself in a bit of space now, so he wants to really get the hammer down, especially if he's going to do a 2-stop strategy, and we're looking more and more likely that Esser is not going to be doing that. He's going to be doing the 50-50 that we're more used to and accustomed to in these 90-minute races. Obviously we've got no dynamic weather, as in we've got no rain, but we'll certainly have a big change in track temperature through the time progression from an early morning through to evening race. So I imagine the track temperature now is almost hitting its peak as we're halfway through this race. So Claessens and Hodgson's still gripped in this battle for the final podium positions. Obviously maybe not a net podium with Lisher already pitting. to see how they come in, but we're expecting pit stops. If they're coming in for a halfway stop, and this is the lap where we should start seeing some of our front runners coming in for a pit stop.
Good traffic here for Hudson.
We are at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
Oh, Hudson held up badly by Fontaine. Not too bad, in fact. So Louis Fontaine doing a great job in the Honda. It's moving aside for this fantastic battle to continue, as we've just hit the halfway stage of this race. It's going to be interesting to see where Lisha ends up, or so where Essa ends up with
where he comes
Lisha.
out.
Yeah.
Neil Berger's having a great race. He's right up back of Chris Heineke now. He's having a really good race. Up in 8th position is Neil Berger. I'm quite impressed with his drive so far. He let Lisha through, but this is properly for position with Chris Heineke, one of our old school drivers here at Sim Race South Africa.
Neil Berger's right with Chris Heineke again. That battle flaring up. Fantastic to see.
He was very, very close just half a lap ago. He's just dropped back a little bit, down to 6/10 now. But he was right up behind him going into Andretti hairpin on the first straight.
Esser's done his pit stop. He's leaving the pit exit as I speak now. And where is Lisha?
Yeah, Lisha's nowhere close, is he?
Close, yeah.
No, Lisha's been held up with fighting his way through traffic. This is the problem with a very quick first stint, especially on a packed circuit like this. Lisha's only just now coming down the final corner. So a substantial gap. He's lost way more time than he's gained.
Yeah, and Ferrant is a good 18 seconds down the road as well. So that's a net gain there for Esser, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. So we had Lisha very, very tight right at the start, but I think, yeah, it was fighting through traffic. He had quite a few guys fighting him for it as well. The door wasn't left open, so I think he lost quite a substantial amount of time. Come out roughly around 14th position, didn't he? Left Devon Lisha after his pit stop.
Race leader Izzy Oliphant now comes into the pits. Claessens has stayed out. So Oliphant getting things done. Esser should comfortably retake the lead of this race once Claessens does his pit stop, of course.
Oliphant just leaving his pit box now. And Lisha is just coming up to cross the start-finish line. So should make that pass to get back into 3rd position. I think Lisha's probably still in net 2nd, isn't he? Quite comfortably. Yeah, no, definitely. We've got Claessens as the only man left on track in the front runners, and Heineke to pit, but Heineke's already in the pits right now.
We may see a battle develop between Lisha and Ferrante with 2nd later on.
Yeah, Lisha's strategy's definitely not paid dividends for him, but we suspect he's probably got a pit again, hasn't he? So not necessarily is he in an easy 2nd place. He's going to have to fight his way through yet again if he pits and no one else does, or he's one of the only that does a 2-stop strategy. So Quade Carson's and Marcus Stain are the only ones that haven't pitted yet. And Xander Klingen also hasn't pitted. Marcus has managed to fight his way back right from the back to 17th position, but he's still got a pit stop to go as well. So make a few mistakes here at Laguna Seca on a packed track and you're going to really struggle to gain places back again.
Quade Clarkson still out in the lead. Perhaps he'll make a pit stop this lap. He's coming up behind Isherwood through the corkscrew.
He's got to pit at some point. It's a mandatory pit stop. AMG needs fuel, as well as tyres should be cooking, I should imagine, this hot heat.
Track temperature's gone up 1 degree. We now 41 degrees and ambient is 32. Nice and hot out there.
Yeah, that's going to get your tyres warm for sure. Plus there's no place on this track where they can cool down. Parsons doesn't need a pit stop though. He's Marcus Stain. Apparently that AMG can work its make its own, generate its own fuel and tyres apparently. So I think the only thing we're going to see that could mess S's race up this evening is some unbelievable change in weather or a back marker. But he's got the luxury of having enough time that he doesn't need to take any risk whatsoever with back markers. Rather bide your time and pass in an easy opportunity. He's not going to be doing anything outrageous.
There's contact in the background. Two Ferraris coming together, I think, as Devon Lisher approaches the accident scene. But everybody gets going again, thankfully.
I've got Kieran Patterson 2/10 behind Lawrence Sterner. Or Stern, sorry, I'm not 100% sure on his surname. But these two are very, very close together in the Ferrari and the Aston Martin. Patterson made a bit of a mistake there, didn't he? And he's dropped quite back. Unbelievably, for such a tight little circuit, we've got some quite substantial gaps formed everywhere. I'm hunting around trying to find close battles on track.
There's Quade Clarkson is in the pits, I think. He drops down to 6th position. And yes, of course, goes to the front. He's got a good, over 20-second lead ahead of Lisher.
So now we've got our front three drivers all in the Porsche 911. If ever evidence is needed that that car is awesome around this circuit, there it is.
Big welcome to Charles Randall. Welcome, Charles. Also new driver at Simrace South Africa. Happy to see you on track soon there, Charles. And welcome
New
to
driver, but there's still plenty to look forward to, isn't there? We're only halfway through the ACC League, and we've got starting afresh in the GP. If anyone wanted to get involved with that, I think the first round of that starts next week.
That's right.
That's a split season, so there's you can start literally from race 1. The Dirt Rally season also finished last week, and it recommences this week. If you wanted to do some rallying in Dirt Rally 2.0, weekly stages, round 1 is this week, I believe. So yeah, plenty to look forward to. Plenty of racing still to go.
Yeah. Comes Kieran now. It's got a run on Lawrence. Good battle this.
Yeah, Kieran's managed to get up behind quite easy, but making a pass is another thing, isn't it? So just got to rather stick there for a bit, I feel, and wait for a bit of a mistake rather than trying to force the issue. Lawrence is an experienced driver now. He doesn't make as many errors as you'd think. Just got to try and keep as close as you can. The only person we found that's really, for whatever reason, managed to be able to pass with ease has been Devilicia this evening. Sending it up the inside on turn 2 has been his speciality of note. He's done that 4 or 5 times. Everyone else is more capitalised on mistakes.
Oh, mistake.
Patterson's just gone wide into the wall.
You've been watching him too long, Daniel.
Yeah. We should have. Sorry, Kieran. We'll move on. That's a bit of a shame. Lost it on his own there, really. Got just a wheel off track.
It's got Ferrant just behind him. Gonna have to give way shortly.
Shows you how quick our front Porsches are running there. You've got Wesley Ferrant coming up to put a lap on Patterson, who is only in 10th position. 911s are on fire this evening. So I'm going to do it again. What's the next round that you can't remember what it is, I'm sure, but I said ACC after Laguna Seca, it goes to Kailami, is it? It's a DLC track, must be.
The next track for GTC is Kailami.
Okay, so that's another Porsche track.
It's on the 4th of May. And the next GDC round, which is our set of course leg of the championship, is at Monza. It's on the 20th of April.
Pretty different tracks there.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Porsche is going to be looking strong in Kailami as well if real life driving is anything to go by. Porsche was awesome last time out in real life there.
And Kailami owned by Porsche these days as well.
Yeah, I think they get special tyre compounds there and all sorts. Yeah, massive transformation that circuit's gone through since Porsche took ownership of it. Right up there now. There's an FIA approved circuit for basically anything they want to put on it. Huge improvements. Obviously Porsche have done enough practice around there that their car seems properly nailed down for it. So if we're expecting Lisha to come in for a second pit stop, it would be around about now, wouldn't it? It's been sort of 30-minute intervals. So on a 2-stop strategy, Lisha in the next couple of laps I would be expecting in, and then it's how far he comes back. I don't think he's going to drop anywhere near as far back as he did after the first stint, but he's definitely going to have some battling to do to get back into his second place. I don't think Wesley Ferrant's going to hear anything of it, only 4 seconds back. I can't see Lisha gaining that sort of time. Could be some inspired setup work here by Esser and Ferrant in the Porsche.
I think so. I think
happy with their cars.
I think they've found something with that car.
Yeah, I mean, Esser's been markedly quicker than we've seen him. I know this track suits that car. and Ferrand also has been superb. So maybe them two have been working together to really come up with a perfect setup for this combo.
You can see that.
Obviously a bit of a gamble in that as well, isn't there? Because I mean, they might have been thinking they might have put everything into a hot circuit, and a few guys possibly might have been airing. I've heard that the practice service had quite a bit of rain on it, so that would have got you a little bit wary of how you set your car up.
A quick look at Mark McGeehan, the number 69 Honda. Getting on with things. We haven't seen him this evening. Oh, here's a spin tank slapper. Around he goes. Keeps it out the wall though.
Not going to be happy with you there, is he?
Yeah, sorry about that, Mark. That's a bit awkward. So back to our race leader, Zayesa.
Oh, that's nice. We'll just cut for an accident, then straight back to the race leader. He rejoined safely, by the way. Well done, Mike McGeehan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well done. And, always great to have Mark racing with his wealth of experience. Half a big gear brings to Sim Race South Africa. And always very, very quick in a BMW MT35R racing for whatever reason.
Oh, really?
And,
that was his speciality?
Champion of that season that we had many years ago.
Ah, okay.
So when Mark gets the right car underneath him, he's unbeatable. So, and I know all
It's
about
really
that as well.
painful when
So, yeah.
Really painful when you come up with a series that you're really good at and then you go and cancel it for them. You got to get good at something else.
Yeah.
I quite like the V8s, but no one else did.
Yeah,
And that was
a
never
very
going to go
cool.
more than one season.
Yeah.
I hated them to start with, but I think once you sort of tamed the beast, it got a bit more manageable, and then you sort of started to love it. But I think there was a lot of people that gave up before they got that far.
I
So
think
we've actually got some pretty substantial gaps everywhere now, unfortunately.
yeah.
Shooting through the field trying to find any sort of battle on track, and there isn't really much. Everyone's either passing back markers, getting lapped themselves, but not actual for position.
Old Eccleston's idea of putting sprinklers on the circuit doesn't sound too bad right now.
No, I think maybe we've got to tune this dynamic weather algorithm for the next round. Thankfully, guys, you'll know that Jason gets control of that, and I'm not allowed anywhere near it, because otherwise it would be 98.9%.
If Daniel had his way, there'd be like a tornado going through the middle of the circuit.
Yeah, it would be like
to
a
get things going.
SimCity sort of weather event would happen. But yeah, we might not get it at Kailami either, unfortunately, unless a little bit of tweaking goes on, because depending on when they model the rain to be effective, you don't get too much wet weather there. In the summer, at least.
That's right. The battle over second is starting to get interesting now. Wesley Ferrand just 2.3 seconds behind Lisha. To keep monitoring that gap. Let's see if that closes.
Obviously, we've got Lisha. He's either pitting again or he's doing the world's longest second stop. So we'll just have to keep an eye out for that. I'm assuming he's pitting again. He came in so early.
Go on board at front. Driving beautifully.
Yeah, he's definitely having an excellent race, has to be said. See, Chadrat made that mistake and let Ferrand and Oliphant through, and then has proceeded to drop 17 seconds further back. So he's really struggling that AMG. He was up into second position at one point, but not finding it easy, I don't think. As far as championship standings go for this, who is our current leader? Is it Bashir?
do you want better? I'll get the table up on the screen, which I wanted to do, but I haven't done it yet. Let's have a look.
Just to remind ourselves, we're only 2 rounds in, aren't we?
So in the IGTC part of the championship, the Ausser course competizioni part of it, it is Bashir Jadwat leading the way, actually tied with Leslie Oliphant with 50 points. And then we've got Quay Claessens in third with 47 points, Marcus Stan in fourth with 45, and Devald Nell in also tied for fourth, Marcus Stan in fifth position.
So Jadwat's looking good because obviously he's tied for first, but he's also got 2 races under his belt, whereas Langenvelt's already had his drop round.
Of course, yeah, because Jadwat won the race at Bathurst, of course, and then he came second at Suzuka.
Yeah, so solid position still for him. So bearing in mind that those 2 circuits may have suited the AMG the best, now if he just needs to try and do as best as he possibly can on here, and I don't think Kyalami will be quite as bad as this for the Mercedes. I think this really is a Porsche favourite, but I'm not expecting the AMG to be bad at Kyalami by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as different as here. So Licia's staying out with only 23 minutes to go. I'm slightly confused about his strategy choice. Such an early pit stop, which he'd only have done if he was lightly fueled. And it seems strange that he's gone through the hottest part of the day with,
we got a
not pitched again.
The pit entry, unfortunately, 2 cars coming together. But Lisha really falling back into the clutches up front now, you're quite right.
Yeah, I'm just... he's not looking as... He's so quick in that first lap. Unbelievably impressive, and he's still had a great drive no matter what happens. But, yeah, we're slightly concerned about what that Porsche is doing in strategy-wise. Because either it's looking very tired on a very, very long stint, or he's got a pit stop to go, which if he does do, he's going to come back... He's going to lose quite a few places, I think. He'll be 6th or 7th position, I would imagine, if he does a pit stop. And he's running out of time to gain that back again.
So we're on board now front, looking at Lisha. Lisha ran slightly wide the last corner, but he hung on to it well. Through the corkscrew now, of course. And front, just looking at a bit extra confidence, especially under braking.
I have to say, if you want to improve in your sim racing, you just need to get Zahir Esser as a teammate. Because it does seem to do wonders for you. We saw Lawrence Sterner had an awesome GP season as well. So, yeah, Wesley Ferrant's having an excellent race. I think Lish is feeling the pressure here a little bit. Pitted a lot earlier than Ferrant, so his tyres are much older. We've still got 20 minutes to go in this race. Going defensive already.
Ferrant just darting up the inside, trying to unsettle Lisha for this corner. It hasn't worked. Interesting mind games being played here by Ferrant.
lap times are quite similar, but the pace is a couple of seconds off their fastest ever lap, so which I was assuming would be earlier in the start on a colder track. Yeah, 1:22.4 is quickest Lish's fastest lap. On Ferrand is only a 1:22.8, and certainly not far off at all. Coincidentally, Toyota sent an F1 car around here in 2006.
Okay.
And it did a 1:06.
Wow.
But I just can't believe it. I would love to have seen that. I'm going to have to try and look up and see if there's any video footage, because I can't imagine an F1 car going through the corkscrew now without major bottoming out and breaking in half. They're not known for being able to get over that sort of drop, but would have been scary, I'm sure.
Oh, front almost bumping wheels there with the Honda. Oh,
Yeah, it's
and
getting
front
really
really forcing the issue there with Lisha.
Lish has been unbelievable in the Andretti hairpin, hasn't he? So, and he takes that inside hug line. That's the only time we've seen passes made here, and it's always been Devon Lish. But he cuts in a lot tighter than everybody else, naturally into that corner, and it's gained in places throughout the race. But it's also acting now as a very good defensive manoeuvre against Ferrand. He's just got used to taking that corner much tighter. Lots of back markers now. Benson clinging out the way.
More traffic now for Lisha and Ferrand. Got a Lexus and looks to be a Honda or a Lamborghini.
The situation where as you're the one following, you're urging the back markers to help you out a little bit.
And contact there. So Lisha just turning around. One of the Lexus is there, and unfortunately
Didn't
that's
affect
the bad lead.
front runners.
No. Oh, and Lamborghini just moving us on with contact again. So Ferrand, these two battling. The Lamborghini is still in the black stuff, thankfully.
Alexis was Moretz.
So that was a bit awkward. Oh, and the Lamborghini goes off as well. And these two carry on their battle. Thankfully for us.
Yeah, this has gone on for quite a few laps now, and Ferrand is in the groove, isn't he? That Porsche they both look pretty nailed down, to be honest. Well, this is a battle that could go on for quite some time. It's waiting for an error and being patient. I think Ferrand he probably won't know that Lisha pitted so early, but there's going to be opportunities. Surely those tyres will start going off for Lisha's 911 compared to Ferrand. It appears that Lisha's put plenty of fuel in and he's going to do the whole run though, doesn't he? Because he'd be lost if he pit now. So for whatever reason, Devon Lisha did a very, very short first stint. Oh, we've got Henry Rowe in chat. What happened to him? What's he doing here? He should be on circuit. Henry, why are you here? He says your car's in the pits. Didn't quite catch what happened there. Maybe you can let us know. So we've got 15 minutes of pressure of Devon Lisher here, and I don't think it's going to let up either, because Wesley Ferrant has been unbelievably consistent this race. Great drive from him, best drive I've seen here in Sim Race South Africa. Fighting for a second place behind his teammate to make it a 1-2 for the team. I suspect someone's had some lockdown practice. He'll probably be swearing at me afterwards for that, but just putting it out there that Wesley, I believe you've had a bit of lockdown practice. But then Devon Lisher probably has as well, and is every other driver, to be fair.
Slight lock up there from Lisher, feeling the pressure. Battling to get the car stopped, and now pressure.
I think his tyres are gonna start fading as well.
Yeah, I think that's Turkey Swanepoel moving aside in the Audi. Good job.
Yeah, we've been. I mean, no doubt we're going to hear woes of back markers, but everyone we've seen so far has been pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and it's very, very difficult when you've got 40 cars on such a tight little track, but I've seen back markers be very, very good at moving over.
Here we go now. Frant's got a good run now. Lisha's defending left and right.
Not into the corkscrew, surely. No. If anyone put a pass in the corkscrew, it would be unbelievable.
So Frant,
but certainly you can put some pressure on there.
Yeah, he wants to get on with this now. It's got just over 13 minutes remaining. There's no real pressure from... Oh, and as I say, pressure. Off he goes. And that's given Lisha a bit of a breather.
Into the dirt. I think the only overtaking place we've seen is turn 2 into the hairpin, but unfortunately the best person we've seen on it all evening is Devon Lisher. That is his corner for sure.
So it's somewhat diffused that battle for the moment.
Back down to 1.8 seconds. Some of the gaps further down are pretty substantial, to be honest.
Yeah, we can expect Frant to catch back up to Lisha pretty quickly now, I think. It's a bit of cool air. Channeling itself through that 213 Porsche. And also Lisha's got some traffic now.
We've got a couple of guys that have been lapped 4, 5, 6 times the last driver, so it is they've spent a lot of their race looking in the rearview mirror. That's going to be pretty stressful for sure. Henry Rowe, terminal damage does not. We need a little bit more than 2 words. Give us a rundown of your race, Henry. Was it self-sustained terminal damage, or are we putting the blame on someone?
So now it's Dirk Brand. You can watch Dirk Brand's live stream on his YouTube channel if you want to get a first-person view of how it's going in his race. I'm sure he's streaming this evening.
Yeah, we have a few drivers stream, don't we? Ryan doesn't do ACC, does he?
I think he has done a race, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Just not here with us this evening. Yeah. Okay, Henry, I'll let you off in chat. We won't talk about it any further. We did cut to you very briefly on stream, if it helps you feel better. Just scrub through at some point.
Jonathan Benson, he goes to Mercedes-Benz, currently in 15th position.
And we've got Christopher Langevoort in chat as well.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
What's happened there? 2 words, track conditions apparently. Obviously didn't prepare for the hot weather.
Yeah.
Midday, middle of California, in the summer, 40 degrees. Possibly not helping that AMG. We have seen the Mercedes struggle, haven't we? Because Jadwat lost places when the track got hot, because he was up there at the start of the race in second position. And then as track temperatures improved, or increased, sorry, that obviously took its toll on that Mercedes, because he's lost a lot of time now. He's 28 seconds back behind Leslie Oliphant, so it's quite a big gap, more than what we're used to seeing. And he's our front-running AMG driver.
And suddenly
France managed to...
yeah, he's right with Lisha.
Yeah, sorry, you're on there as well. Yeah, he's caught it up, hasn't he? He's got that right back down.
Got something to watch now. Just
9
under 10 minutes remaining.
Lisha's going defensive into the kink as well. Like, I'm not sure where you'd put a pass there, but Wesley's been very, very quick on this section. We see him right up behind into the corkscrew, but it's just not a passing opportunity. Got a car spun round.
It's one of the McLarens. Back on board for Rant now. And he catches up to Lisha mid-corner. Lisha's just so much better out of the corners.
This really is for second position, all left on track now. But we've got Lisha, who our earliest pit stop in a very, very warm, tired 911 against Ferrand, who is finding it quite easy to catch up to him, but making him pass is another issue. Lisha's just so good into turn 2. His natural line is defensive and he's quick on it. I can't see Wesley Ferrand making a pass there. Maybe as they come into turn 5, Wesley Ferrand seems to be very, very quick through this section, going up to the turn 7 and 8 into the corkscrew. These guys quicker in different sections of this track, that's for sure. Lisha's feeling the need to go very defensive into that kink. Doesn't like that exit to turn 6. Great battle here, 3 tenths between these drivers with 8 minutes to go. So far Devonish has managed to soak up all the pressure. Grant's just looking for anything really, isn't he? Just any slight window of opportunity. I think he's going to try and take it. Maybe some back markers they're coming up to will give him that opportunity. Got Grayling in front. Yeah, I have to agree with you, Christopher Langway, in chat, thinking Lisha's tyres are probably shot, but I've been saying that for about 20 minutes. That's the problem. And I get caught out every race. I had Marcus Stone last time, so I'm not calling this any which way. But certainly Wesley Ferrand is finding it quite easy to come up behind him, and he's all over the back of Devonish right now.
Traffic for the 2 now.
Now, traffic could be the difference between a second position here in this race, with only 6 minutes to go. Ferrand can't get any closer.
They're dodging McLarens and Aston Martins. Oh, this is Ferrand's chance now. Oh, can he get the power down? No, Lisha does a bit better again, Daniel.
This is Lisha's corner as well, isn't it? He's just so awesome in this section. He's been the best all evening here. He's got turn 2 absolutely perfect, has Devon Lisha, and Ferrand finds himself just tracking behind him for the rest of the lap. That really is the big overtaking opportunity on this circuit. Whereas Ferrand very, very quick through here, turn 6, and Lisha feels the need to go defensive into the kink. So
yes, Ferrand's chance now. Can he get the inside line? He goes, chooses the outside line.
And Alicia's covering that inside line to the king. He's worried there because he can see Ferrand all over the back of him. But Ferrand's not going to put a pass on the corkscrew. Well, I'm prepared to say that he's not going to put a pass on the corkscrew because I'd love to see it.
Will this end in tears? That's the question. The two drivers are doing very well, and the back markers as well. Oh, when I say that.
Back markers everywhere, and the two drivers just seem to be carving their way through to them and not losing like even a tenth of a second.
It takes two calm heads to drive like this under pressure.
Yeah, not easy to follow this closely for this long. It's very, very impressive drive from Wesley Ferrand. He's struggled to see reference points for braking, but he's got it nailed down. That just takes so
Ferrand, contact!
At the inside of
contact! And Ferrand got out of it.
I'm not sure that really was a gap there to be made, was it?
No.
I think he was forcing the issue a little bit there. That might be the last opportunity he has because he's dropped back 1.5 seconds. And only 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a test from Ferrand. He just stuck his nose in there just to see what Lisha would do. Low speed, so if there was contact, it wouldn't be so bad as in the tracks, the cars leaving the track.
There wasn't a Porsche 911 size shape for me though in that.
No.
That was always going to be a closing angle, wasn't it?
I think there was a bit of a mental check just to see what Lisha would do. And Lisha's he's passed with flying marks.
He might regret that if he doesn't get another opportunity in this race because I think he's going to spend the next couple of laps. He's going to have 1 lap left if he can get up behind Devon Lisha again for the final lap. But Devon was so consistent, wasn't he? He wasn't showing any chinks in his armour whatsoever. So I think Wesley was trying to force it there.
Yeah. I don't think this is over just yet. I think Lisha's tyres are absolutely finished.
What have we got? 3 laps remaining?
Yeah, at the most. Just depends on how quickly those tyres keep degrading for Lisha.
Yeah, he's been battling with them for a while. Certainly not been as quick in this stint, but then he just made such a great move at the start, gained 2 spots on his light fuel. Whereas this one he's been heavy fueled and now he's struggling with worn tyres for sure. Wesley Ferrand though is not gaining a substantial speed, it has to be said. We're talking 3-4 tenths a second, we're not talking monumental time differences here. We might have one more opportunity in this race to make it a 1-2 for the team. Well, we've got Bashir Jadwat that's actually passed Leslie Oliphant. We had in chat Chris Langeveld saying he's catching very, very quickly, but he's actually passed him now into 4th position. So I wonder what's happened to Leslie Oliphant.
Let's see if we can get a replay quickly.
It might be a little bit further back, but
Oliphant's got damage.
Yeah, something's happened there, hasn't it? Unfortunately, we didn't quite catch that in time to get it on replay. But yeah, Leslie Oliphant's made a mistake there because there was quite a substantial gap there. So I think Craig Clarson's now has also taken Leslie Oliphant. So Oliphant's got a problem. Oh, he's got a massive problem. I'm just switched to him now and he's got the whole front end missing. And he's off the circuit under the corkscrew. He's going back quickly, isn't he? He's gone into the wall somewhere. That could be terminal damage with 2 minutes to go. He's just trying to finish now, isn't he? But that does not look like it's properly drivable. We've got some massive gaps on track, so I mean, if he can at least keep going, now he's coming into the pits.
Yeah, no.
1 minute to go and he's coming into the pits. Heartbreak for Leslie Oliphant as he finds himself going right back into the field after a pretty error-free race. I mean, we've not seen much of Leslie Oliphant this evening. He's just been going along on his own. In the meantime, Wesley Frant's got past Devon Lisher. We've missed it.
Okay, let's see if we can replay quickly.
Might have to go back a minute for that one. That might be worth going back a minute, but then if you do want to miss
Fortunately,
it,
I've missed it, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
shame. We followed them for laps on end and then we missed it. What a shame. So Wesley Ferrand put the pressure on, had obviously an opportunity and got 1-2 for the team. And so as it commences the final lap of this race. He's just gone off wide actually, which is a bit unusual, but he's not, apart from right at the start where we had Devon Lisher really get up behind him and then make a mistake. Esther's had it pretty much his own way. He's just been able to only worry about back markers, clear track in front of him as far as track position goes, and he's managed to pull the gap that we're accustomed to seeing him do so. It's been a very, very good drive from Zahir Esser, very impressive. But for me, driver of the day is Wesley Ferrand. If he makes it stick for this lap and gets a second position, that has been a superb drive from Wesley Ferrand. Very, very impressive in the Porsche. 3 Porsches, 1, 2, 3. That tells you everything you need to know about which car is most suited to this track. I think Bashir Jadrat might be actually quite satisfied with his 4th position in Mercedes AMG.
So yes, that runs the last corner now to take victory at Laguna Seca. Congratulations to him. Fantastic drive.
The leader has finished the race.
And Wesley Ferrand.
First win for him. I'm sure he'll be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, first win with South Africa Sede Corsa Competizione race. So we've had three different winners from 3 different rounds. It's fantastic for the league.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And Wesley
3
Ferrand.
very different races as well, haven't we?
Yes. Yeah. And Wesley Ferrand now will complete their Eco Racing 1-2. Ryan Hill, team principal, will be absolutely ecstatic about that result.
And a fantastic drive from Wesley Ferrand. Very, very impressive second position. Well, very, very well done to him.
Devon
I
Lisher.
think Lisher's tyres just went, didn't he? Look how much he dropped back once the position was lost. I think those tyres were finished.
Yeah. So Lisher
He was
completes
fighting over a few tenths.
the podium. Bashir Jadwat's already in the pits. I think he's already a lap down. Is he? Yeah, I think so. Quay Claasen's finished in 5th position. Nick Hodgson gets 6th. Johannes Kraling, new driver at Simrace South Africa, he gets 7th. Lawrence Sterner, 9th position for him. Kieran Patterson will get 9th. And Neil Berger completes the top 10 in the 246 Ferrari for Patterson Works Racing. Great drive there by Neil Berger. Chris Heineke gets the 12th position for Ghost Works.
Come his 10th as the finish of the top 10.
Okay. Yeah, top 10 for Heineke. Okay, great stuff. I think that rounds up this round here at Laguna Seca.
Green light, give it all you can.
And big thank you to you, Daniel, for joining me in the commentary booth. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, no worries. We very much look forward to Kyalami the next time out in ACC. But in the meantime, everyone, happy sim racing.
Yeah.